there, welcome to Within Living's YouTube channel. My name is Lois and I'm so happy that you're here. And I sincerely thank you for coming here. I appreciate you being here and I appreciate you watching my video. And may I ask that you just watch the video all the way to the very end, right? Why? Because my content is very potent. And to best serve you, if you watch it to the very end, you're going to be blessed more from the information that it has for you today. So welcome again here. So here at Within Living, all my conversations, whether it's here on YouTube or on my website at withinliving.com, my one-on-one coaching, my self-paced courses, or my spirituality community, all my content and conversations are going to be focused on spirituality, but with a very specific focus on consciousness. And when I say consciousness, what I'm talking about is the actual awareness of who we each are within, our true nature and our true identity. Because you see, we're not just a body thing. We're not just these mere humans. We're actually spiritual beings in a human body having a human experience. So all my conversations are going to be focused on going back within the seat of consciousness, or God, if you will. That's who consciousness is within you. And so my conversations are going to be very thought-provoking. Yes, I'm going to always bring you content, right? That's going to cause you to stop for a minute and ask yourself the question, what is Lois talking about? What is she talking about? So that you're able then to think below the surface. You're able then to go within yourself and ask the questions. Because if you ask the questions, my friends, you're going to get the answers, right? It'll be revealed to you from within you. And when it is revealed to you from within you, it comes from the very source of you, and it is actually your truth. So this is what my platform is all about. I'm here to support those of you on your spiritual awakening journey who might be, wanting to have be facilitated by conversations such as this. So just jump on in here. We're all full of love here. And so we invite you to come here. If you're new here to this platform, come on in and join us and bring your own love too, right? Drop a comment in the comments box and participate with us. I like participating with everyone here. All right, so today I have another juicy conversation for you. But before we get into the conversation, I got a few things I want to address. So first off, I want to give special thanks to Tiffany Archives. That is your YouTube screen name. Thank you so very, very much for your contribution in appreciation for my work. I appreciate you and I thank you for your super thanks very, very much, Tiffany. Thank you. And then I want to talk about last week, right? In our video last week, the title of our video was Life's Answers and Solutions Are All Within You. They really are. And in that video, I offered you guys a challenge. And I asked you to take the challenge, work through it throughout the week, and then come back this week and put in the comments box what your experiences were, so we could share and exchange. And I'm willing to support you. If you put your comments in the comments box and you have questions, I will give you some free coaching and I will respond to you and guide you along, in line with your questions. So I trust that a number of you did it. I'm also going to link that video back to this one as a reference video for those who may not have seen it, who may want to go back and watch that video and do that challenge, because that challenge is going to help you. It's going to reveal some things to you. Again, that challenge is going to take you back within to connect to consciousness, who is God within you. And God is you. It really is you, right? Who we call the soul or the subconscious mind is who in religion they call God. Or they might even call it the universe or Allah. It doesn't matter what we call it. It doesn't matter. What is important is that it is the true identity of the self of us. And our awakening is it awakening from its dream to the realization that it is not simply the human, but the human is just the experience that it is having, but that it is indeed an infinite being, and it is God. I mean, let me tell you, people, when I have more and more revelations of this or think about this, it just is jaw-dropping for me. I'm in such awe and wonderment of how magnificently we're made to be, how much we're loved, how incredibly blessed we are. I mean, when you wake up and you realize, honest to God, you are God, what else could you really want? I mean, really, ask yourself that question. What else could you want? What could you be lacking? You can't be lacking anything. So that leads me now into today's conversation. Very thought-provoking conversation for you today. And I want to title it somewhere along the line today that says, you are God awakening from your dream, right? So you are God awakening from your dream. And what exactly do I mean by that? As we've just discussed, and as I'm sure if you're on my platform here and you're watching my content and being blessed by my content, you have experienced spiritual awakening to some degree. And at this point, you're very conscious, you're very aware, you're very knowledgeable that you are more than your human experience, right? You're more than your flesh and blood. You're more than your body. God, we love the body, but we're not it. No, you're more than the 70,000, almost 80,000 thoughts that we're having per day. You're not the thoughts. You're more than the ego itself. You are not the ego. You have the ego. The ego is your personality, okay? So if you've ever wondered, where's your personality? What is your personality? Where did your personality come from? Your personality is actually created or formed, not created, but formed in the brain, in an area of the brain that is called the reticular activating system. For short, we call it the RAS. And what the RAS does, it sits between both conscious and subconscious mind. Let's say this is the mind, and it's divided in two. On the top, we have conscious. On the bottom, submerged, we have subconscious. The RAS sits right there between the both. So it's in actually both sides of the mind. However, it thrives off of or creates its or forms its identification about who it is wanting to be. Is it wanting to be the conscious side of the mind or the subconscious side of the mind? So in the conscious side of the mind is where we have free will. That's where your birthright gift, the gift of your choice to choose, right? Choose you this day. This is your birthright, and you are making a choice in your life every experience you've ever had. Every experience you've ever had, my friend, it is your choice. It's the result of your choice based on the law of causation. You caused it within you, and you say, well, Lois, how? I had nothing to do with that. It was a thought. It was just a thought. It was a thought that you had. And that thought was so potent energetically that it impressed your subconscious mind, who is the God presence within you. It is called the soul. We call it the soul, or they may call it the spirit. It is the Christ presence, if you will, for you people in religion, within you, right? And once that subconscious mind is impressed, it doesn't ask questions. It's God. It can't judge you. It can't judge you. It can't question you. It can't delay you. It can't deny you. So it simply pushes out or impresses out, brings about into your physical experience the thing that you impress it with. So when that thought is potent, energetically, whether it's a conscious or subconscious thought, the subconscious mind receives it and pushes it out. This is why you are the cause of all of your life's experiences. This is why everything you've ever experienced in life, you are the cause of it. Okay, so before we've been spiritually awakened, right? We've been sleepwalking. We are awakened, or we're alive physically to the human experience, but we're truly not alive, not awake to our actual identity or our divinity of who we are as the soul. So when we become spiritually awakened, it is the soul itself. Have you ever stopped? Let me ask you this first before I go further. Have you ever stopped in your spiritual awakening and asked yourself or pondered or contemplated, I'm spiritually awakened. I'm going through this evolution. I'm beginning to understand, not logically, right, but from a deeper place within me. I just have this knowingness, this understanding that I'm more than flesh and blood. I'm more than just the human experience. I'm more than my body. All of a sudden, it's just dawning upon me. I'm beginning to question things that I have learned, things that I have accepted as my truth, things that I have believed. Where's that coming from? What part of me? Ask yourself that question. This is an exercise for you this week in this video, right? Ask yourself that question. What part of me is being awakened? Is it just my mind? Because it's not. Is it my ego? No, that thing don't want to wake up because it doesn't like change. What is being awakened in you is your soul. Your soul has always been alive. It can't die. It is immortal. So you can't never, nothing can put it to death. It can't die. It is eternal. It has been going on for evolutions from whenever that was that we all came into form as the soul. So from whenever God ever was, whenever that was. And however long we've been coming in human form as the soul, in the physical body, having the physical experience, with the gift of the free will to choose the personality that we're having, to choose the life, because the personality is going to determine the life experience that we're having. Why is that? Because the personality is going to have a specific mindset. And that mindset are the thoughts then were energetically that are going to manifest or become the life experiences. So the soul itself, who is God, the soul can't change. It is unchangeable. It is irrevocable. It can't be revoked. It can't be distorted. It can't be changed. It can't be manipulated in any way. It is steadfast. It is always pure. However, because we have been given the free will to choose, right, what we're going to experience, which is really kind of to choose the personalities we're having, then when we say I am is the identification of your soul. Your soul is God. Your soul just is God. When we say I am, we are then commanding, commanding God to become whatever we attach to I am. So if we're always saying, I am tired, because that's what the ego is telling the body, that it's like, yes, every day at this time we get tired. It's just what we do. It's what we've always done. So it's what we do. And then the body begins to feel, quote, tired. The body can't be tired if the mind is not telling it that it is, because the mind controls the body. The body does not control the mind. The mind controls the body. So if the mind is telling the body, it's 3 o'clock and I'm tired, and so every day about 2:59 or 2:58, we're saying to ourselves, oh, I am so tired, then we are in essence commanding the soul, who is God, I am that I am, to become tired for us, or to push out or project out or take on the image, the form of being tired for us. Because you see, God is not just the giver of your gift. God is also the very gift itself. So God is the one becoming to you whatever you are decreeing or declaring I am to be. God must conform to that. You're actually commanding God. I mean, that's the real nitty-gritty of your power. When you understand the power that you are commanding God as I am to become that to you. So can you see then numerous, we don't know how many hundreds of thousands or millions of times we've evolved in human form, because we've been here before. This is not our first rodeo. No, not at all. We keep evolving over and over in the human experience. Why? To awaken the soul from its sleep, having taken on the human personality. If you will, it's like it's wearing a mask. It hasn't changed. Think of you being in Mardi Gras or being in a carnival of some kind where, they get all dressed up and they're the real human bodies under there. But then they have these masks on to mask their appearance. This is what's going on with you, with your egoic personality as the human and the soul. So again, the soul has not changed. You're God. And you were having the dreaming that I am this human. I am this human. I'm this human. I'm this limited person. Why? Because humanity continues to choose to identify itself. Who is itself? The soul. Because the soul is you. So over all the every evolutions of humanity, we have been choosing to identify that we are these human beings. We're just humans, and we're limited, and we're just having all these humbugs going on through life, right? Because it's what humans do. And then the soul jolts and it awakens to the realization that, wait, no, my friend, no. I am not the human. I am a divine spiritual being. I awaken to the realization that, wait a minute, I am God. I am God. I am a divine, eternal being. I am immortal. I couldn't have died. So whatever y'all were calling death, that was a body having an experience. It was not me. I have awakened to this realization that, wait a minute, I've been living in lack and limitation based on your commands of who you wanted to be as the personality. But I've awakened to say, no. I am not that. I am God. I am infinitely, abundantly supplied. I am the cause of all my experiences. Everything that happens in the human journey, it's not my identification. I am not identifying with it. I am not identifying as it. It is simply an experience that I'm having. And because I am God and I'm pure, I can't judge it. I can't judge it. And I can't judge it because I gave you the free will, the personality to choose it. So the personality or the ego of you, your personality is the companion of your soul. Your personality is the thing that is like in the physical world, your fingerprints. You know how your fingerprints can give a picture of who you are? They don't have to see you. They don't have to know your personality in the physical. See your fingerprints and they know you. Nowadays, it's an eye scan. It's the same thing with your, quote, personality. Your personality is what uniquely identifies your soul as the unique manifestation of the one consciousness in lower form, keyed low, as the offspring or child, if you will, created in or made in its exact image and likeness. So there are trillions or who knows, billions. At the moment, there's 8.4 billion souls alive on the earth. But who knows how many other billions or trillions have already transitioned and are somewhere else in other life form. We don't know that. So what makes you totally uniquely different from me or from any other soul anywhere is your personality. It is called your intellect. Your intellect. And when you transition, you don't transition the soul and leave the intellect. If not, the soul is not going to be able to be identified as the unique version of you. So your personality is the companion of your soul. It is the unique identification of your soul. And when you spiritually awaken, it is your soul awakening to say, I am not the soul, no, but I have a soul. I am not, I'm sorry. I am the soul. I am the soul. I am God. I am not my personality, no, but I have a personality. I'm not my body, no, but I have a body. I'm not my mind and all those thousands of thoughts, but I have a mind and all those thousands of thoughts. And my journey then, or my awakening from my sleep in my spiritual journey here, is to awaken and come back to the realization that, wait a minute, I am the soul, I am God, I am perfect, and then to conform my egoic identification. It has been identifying with itself as just the human. The transformation I'm going through now then is to transform the human perspective of who it has been believing that it has been, to coming back in harmony with who it truly is. In other words, reflecting me, the soul, opposed to the human experiences, right? This in the religion is what they call the death, burial, and the resurrection. This is where you have to choose to die to the old man or the old self. What do you think the old self is? Your old perspective of yourself, which is what has formed the old personality. So let's say the personality of a person is saying, you know, I've always been timid, I've always been fearful, always insecure, I've never been really sure, I never had that support when I was growing up to let me know, I could accomplish anything at all. So I've always been on the more timid side, the more not so confident side. That's the identification of the human part of you based on your life experiences. And not only your life experiences, but your experiences of the parents, because there's a passed down to you genealogically. When you awaken now then, and the soul is saying, wait a minute, I'm more than all that. I'm not that. I'm not limited to all of that. I'm not limited to any of that. I don't even identify with any of that. Those are just experiences I had on that part of my journey, but they're not who I am. Then your job now, then your responsibility, your choice that you have, that you have to choose to make is to lay down or die to the old perspective of who you've been believing the self to be, identified incorrectly as what the ego took form on. You have to begin now to take the mask you created over your soul, because your soul have to become to you whatever you command it to be, whatever you call it to be, whatever you're convinced it is to you, it has to. So, and that's the mask, because the real it can't change, right? So now you have to remove the mask from it by conforming your egoic self or your thoughts then to begin to think new thoughts, to have a totally different mindset of who you honestly are. And you may say to me, well, Lois, how am I going to know how to do that? What is that? Who is that? My suggestion to you would be to become very acquainted with who the true you is as the soul. Who are you as the soul? Become very, very acquainted with that. So in other words, do your homework, do your study. There's a video I did back, and I don't remember the title of it here, but in it I referenced the characteristics, some of the characteristics of the soul. So if you go back and do your homework and begin to identify and recognize who the true nature of you is. Who is this God in you? What is its nature? What is its true nature and character? And then you begin to change your thought process through affirming until you become convinced, right? This using the law of assumption, assuming that you're this person and affirming it until you become convinced. And in that process, you're then peeling off the mask that you have formed over time, the mask you've put over your soul as you die to the egoic self, the old perspective of the egoic self, and the regeneration or the resurrection. You are resurrecting the God presence within you. That's what's resurrecting. You have to die to the ego for the God to become your dominant personality. You can't have the both, can't straddle the fence. As long as the ego is dominant, the subconscious remains just that. The God of you steps back. It will assist and support you, yes, but it is not your dominant personality. Your light is not glowing as bright as it could be. And the subconscious mind or God of you is in some way imprisoned by you by not allowing it to flow through you and advance you to live, to experience the highest possible potential of the human experience that you can have, because it's then God living through you to experience the best that life can experience. And when it does that, my friend, it has to touch everyone else. It touches the vibration of the entire universe. It moves everything in the universe. It touches that energy, reverberates out into the collective consciousness. Do you understand how powerful you are? You understand what's going on here? So this is why you're awakened. You're awakened not just to get trinkets and things. No, that's not the focus. Because when you know you're the soul, you know you're already royal. Nothing with having trinkets and things. No. And I'm here to let you know, when you know who you are as the soul and you've made the transformation, right? Denied the ego of its limitations by reprogramming your mind, living in a new mindset of who you are within, that you are royal. That's one of the characteristics. That means you're already always abundant. You're the source of your own abundance. Then there's no limits to what you can experience. And when you make this transformation here, yes, you'll have experiences where the soul will simply bring forth a desire that it wants to experience living in opulence and luxuries and the luscious things of life. Why? Not to impress anyone or to make a lifestyle. No, not at all. But because it already is that in the infinite field, or the quantum world as we call it nowadays, okay? So I trust that there's so much more to this. I wish you were in our community, because we talk more about these things, and especially about the soul. We go in more depth in understanding who the soul is. But in any case, I just wanted to bring this to you today, another thought-provoking video, that indeed you are God within. Your soul is God awakening from its dream. So wake up in your awakening, people. Do your transformation and allow your soul to truly break free and live your best life ever. And before I go, I want to share one thing with y'all. So I've been having, you may notice that my glasses are like really very foggy, funny looking. Okay, I have special things going on my lenses, a number of different layers, dealing with some things with my eyes. But I want to just share this one thing with you. So I've been going through this thing with my eyes now for a bit, and they had said that we were really going to have to do this surgery, which was extremely invasive. And I just said, no, I can't take the chance, you know. I don't want to. You do that, and no, I'm not going there. So I felt very strongly that I wanted to manifest it. And I'm sharing this with you to let you know there's nothing you can't manifest. When I tell you there's nothing you can't manifest, there's not. So I have been quietly working on manifesting forth a perfect solution to whatever was going on without them having to cut. And at least cutting the way they wanted to cut, but preferably no cut. And I had my appointment this week, and guess what? My doctor's jaws just dropped, because he's saying none of this don't make no sense at all. I mean, no, it doesn't make any sense at all. Whatever it was we thought we had to do, we no longer had to do. In fact, he had me do the test twice so he could prove to himself. And I know you're watching, Dr. P. I know you're watching. That doctor is watching here today. You know why the doctor is watching here today? Because I told the doctor, this is what I teach. This is how I live. You know who I am. And this is proof to you about not your medical things. We appreciate that. But the power of my mind, the power of my intention, the power of my decree, knowing that I am God. And if I say I have it, then I absolutely have it. And everything in life must conform. I am the manager, the owner of my body. My body must come in harmony with what I commanded to do from the I am state. I am that I am. So thank you, Dr. P, for being here and for watching this video today. I knew you were going to do that. So anyway, folks, just to let you all know, all things are possible to you. So in about 2 weeks, I'm going to be having brand new glasses. They're going to look similar, but a little bit different. But this time you'll be able to see my eyes, because my lenses will actually be cleared. Yeah, first time in a long time. So thank you for putting up with this with me for the last 2 years or so. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you again for watching my video all the way to the end. I encourage you to look in my description box. You'll find all my services there. And I will keep you posted on my progress. I am working on another level, actually 2 more levels for you, for the community. And I will keep you posted on them as we make progress. So until next time, just go back and remember, you're God awakening from the dream. Right? The dream that you're not just the human being. And step now into your awakening, the full consciousness that you are truly God. All things are possible to you. And all you need to do is shift up your mindset. Convert from who you were accepting you were as the egoic self, and come in harmony now with who you are as God within. I send you a lot of love. And until we talk next time, next week, I'm going to say peace. Bye-bye for now. And remember, it is always one love.